now, from the great state of Mississauga in Ontario, Canada, it's the Ted Wallachin Podcast. Brought to you by ETP Canada, providing estate administration with ease. ETP Canada. And Tom's Place, for the finest in men's fashion. Tom's Place will suit you. And now, here's Ted.
Thank you so much, Becky, and welcome everyone to the final edition of the Ted Wallachin Show for 2023. Now, of course, I understand that you may be listening to this in 2024, or you may be listening to this in 2023. Not to confuse you, but people can listen to this whenever they want. It could be 2025 already, and you're listening to this. Nevertheless, you are listening to this. So what we thought we'd do this week is we would take a look back on the year 2023, some of the interesting things that happened, some of the annoying things that have happened, and I can't think of anybody better to share the good, the bad, and the annoying other than my good friend, your friend, hopefully one day, Marla Lukofsky. Hello, Marla. How are you?
Hi, Ted. Good to be back. Good to talk to you.
Nice to have you back. So a weird year for sure. A lot of ugliness in the world, and we're going to stay away from most of that because we're getting hammered by it every day, inundated by bad news. So let's have we look at some of the more peculiar aspects of the year, and some of them not so peculiar. There's been a lot of controversy. I don't know if you noticed it. It seems to me there's a lot of stories this year about people having massive arguments on airlines in regards to things like seats, not giving up their seats and arguing about their seats.
That's right.
That struck you too, eh?
Oh, it struck me big time because I'm a very particular person and I plan my trips in advance and I have to get the aisle seat and I have to get the right row. So I take that time, I pay extra, and I pick my seat.
Yeah.
So when I see these stories on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts, I'm all on the side of the person who doesn't want to move their seat because I say to them, well, why didn't you plan in advance like I did to give up my seat for the children, which because it's always about the children, or it's the spouse or something. What would you do?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, if a couple are going on a holiday and it's a last minute thing and they couldn't get two seats together, I wouldn't have a problem giving up my seat so they could sit together. I mean, I prefer to sit at an aisle seat because I'm fairly tall. I like to stretch out.
Yeah,
But
you are.
I wouldn't. That doesn't bother me that much. But I know I can understand in some cases people. And the thing is, you never know what you're giving it up for. You know,
meaning what?
Meaning you could be giving up your seat to somebody in all good conscience, thinking to yourself, well, I'm doing this person a favor. Meanwhile, they're conning you because you're now moved into a seat where in front of you, directly behind you, is a little kid who's going to spend the next hour and a half kicking you in the back as you're flying.
That's absolutely right. So there you go. So I'm keeping my seat. And to the listeners out there, I may be considered the asshole, but you're going to be considered the angel.
Oh. Best airlines of 2023. I've flown none of them. Qatar is
Singapore Airlines. Yeah.
Cathay Pacific. That's always been right up there.
So is Emirates.
Emirates, yeah.
Japan. Well, everything's good in Japan.
I haven't flown any of those airlines.
Well, neither have I, but I'm gonna now.
Okay, sure. Best domestic airlines: Delta Airlines, Southwest, Hawaiian, Alaska Airlines, United, American, and JetBlue. These are best American airlines. Domestic.
Have you used those?
I've flown Delta before, American. Flew Southwest Airlines once. A charitable golf tournament. We were coming back from Phoenix, and about 20 minutes into the flight coming back, there was this boom noise. And everybody went, turbulence? And I said, turbulence doesn't have a soundtrack. Turbulence is just bouncing. This was a boom and bounce. And as it turned out, one of the engines blew, and I was sitting directly in front of it. The guys who were sitting directly behind it were watching flames spew out the engine. People were freaking out. The guys are crossing themselves.
Oh
And
my
one of the flight attendants, she panicked and went and locked herself in the bathroom.
God. Oh no.
Can you imagine that?
No,
These are the people who are supposed to be comforting you.
that's right.
She locked herself in the bathroom.
Maybe she needed more toilet paper. I don't know.
Maybe she needed it for more reasons than we think.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I used to hate
Mm,
flying, but it doesn't bother me that much anymore.
I still hate flying. I hate traveling. I hate going to the airport. I hate lineups. I don't have the patience for lineups. That's the thing. And the seats, it's not just that I'm getting larger. It's that the seats are getting smaller and more narrow. They are.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And they keep telling us, no, they're not. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. You know, it's that optical illusion that they don't think we'll notice, but we do.
Now, here's something that's of no surprise to anyone. Person of the Year, according to Time magazine. Also, the highest grossing concert performer, most streamed singer on Spotify, most streamed singer on iTunes. It became a billionaire in 2023. The answer, of course, is Taylor Swift
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
and the
Boy,
Swifties.
she's really, I don't know if you see the clips on, social media, but she sells out every concert from the rafters to the ground, east to the west, and fills up the parking lots and even brings in the parents with the kids and everything. She's got to be the hardest working entertainer of the year, no doubt.
And she has a following, a gay following, who are referred to as gaylers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you can't turn on a football game if Kansas City is playing because she's dating Travis Kelsey, who plays for Kansas City. And she's always there in the private box. And that bothers some people. And I don't understand why. They say, well, yeah, I'm here to watch a football game. I don't care about some celebrity. You know
Right.
what? Just the fact that she's there is bringing so many more eyes to the game that the NFL is thrilled to bits that she's there.
Right. Totally.
Because it's this woman, well, as I just mentioned, she's the highest grossing performer, most streamed, billionaire. She's all over the place. I mean, she's also very generous too. She gave away, and I can't remember the exact amount of food, but it was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds of food.
She does this in every city she plays in. She
Yeah.
donates to the food banks. She pays her employees extremely well. She is always courteous and considerate to her fans because she knows they made her. But there's this great movement of hate towards her at the same time. But that seems to be the nature of the beast. But I think they resent the fact that she's so smart. She was the one who couldn't get out of that old contract with Scooter Braun, and he wouldn't let her have ownership of her music. So she re recorded the old songs, and all of her fan base bought the new song. So she made her money back, and he was out. And now a lot of people are dumping him.
That's great.
It is great. And she's an icon in the sense that she's her own power. She owes it to nobody but herself. She has looks, which is not important. She has talent. She has money. She's childless. She does not live to make somebody else look good. She is unapologetic at being self-sufficient, if you know what I mean. She's not downplaying herself at any moment for her man friend, and let's see what happens with this football player, but she's just an entity all her own, unlike anyone ever has been so far.
Yeah. But she is not yet the richest woman in the world, but she's getting there. And who knows what else she'll branch out to. She'll probably start her own production company, start doing movies, start doing Who knows? Who knows?
Right. Oh, absolutely. God knows what's going to happen next with Taylor Swift.
I mean, how much money is she going to make from that Eras Tour movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. Speaking of top grossing movie of 2023, who would have thought Barbie?
Yeah.
It's so
Well,
bizarre.
people sure didn't think of it when it first came out, but it just kept breaking records left, right, and center. It was the kind of energy that I was seeing for Taylor Swift, and it just kept growing and growing. I haven't seen it yet. I've been waiting. I'm going to see it next week.
Yeah, I'm tempted to see it as well. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but it's anything that grosses $1.5 billion. There has to be something redeeming about it. There has
Of
to be
course, but
something entertaining.
Ted, why does it sound silly that you're going to see it?
A movie called Barbie.
Ted, come on.
All right, I'll have to see Oppenheimer first, though. You know, it's
Okay.
interesting. Oppenheimer and Barbie came out about the same time, and the producers for Oppenheimer went to the producers for Barbie and said, "Hey, listen, can you postpone your preview? We'd like to preview ours first." And the producers for Barbie said, "No, no, if you're so positive that you're going to do better than us, open the same time we are." So
That's right.
Oppenheimer has grossed a billion, and Barbie's 1.5 billion.
Yep.
But right behind Barbie, in between Barbie and Oppenheimer, Super Mario Brothers. The Super Mario must be 80 years old by now. $1.4 billion.
They're doing so well, and I actually did a voice on the cartoon, and I still get residuals for it, but they just keep that, market alive for them. It's just astounding.
You did for the Super Mario cartoon?
Yeah.
Who were you?
I was different characters, one in particular, it was a great character. I was this genie, and it was a great character that came out of the lamp and spoke to people. I had, like, several scenes in that episode, but I still get the residuals, and why not?
And are they nice residuals?
Ted, I'm a Canadian actor. That should give you the answer
Yeah.
to your
So
question.
it's like six figures if you count the decimal point.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's, like, less than the stamp that it's put on, but no, it's actually not bad. It's not bad. Who do I where I get good residuals from? Well, not bad, but the best is, an episode called Forget About It. That lasted, I think, 2 seasons, and it was, Canadian-American co-produced. I auditioned through a video that was hooked into LA, but they did a lot of stuff in Toronto, but I get like, well, I shouldn't really talk money, but it's better paying than most things.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Richest actress in the world, Jamie Gertz. I've never heard of Jamie Gertz.
Yes, you have, because if you look her up, go onto your computer, look up the picture, you're gonna, oh, her. Yeah.
One of
You
those.
just don't remember her name, but she used to be around a lot. I didn't memorize the movies. I should have for the show, but I didn't. But she married a man who is wealthy. She did well on her own, invested well, but then she married well, and him and her husband own the Atlanta Hawks basketball team.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you
Uh,
know them?
I don't know them, but I'm familiar with the team, and I'm familiar with the price of professional sports teams.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
own an NBA team, you got to have some serious bucks for sure.
Yeah, serious for sure.
Richest actor in the world.
Did this surprise you?
I would have thought it would have been uh, what's his name, Scientology boy,
Yes, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
And we saw that in another list, but maybe it was just for 2023 was Tom Cruise, but the richest actor in the world, accumulative speaking, is Tyler Perry.
And what would I know him from?
Oh, well, he did that character where he played a woman for several years. I can't think. I didn't think you were going to ask me that. But he's a smart business person too, because he ended up building his own production
Oh,
studio. It might be even
Yeah,
in Atlanta,
interesting.
Georgia. I can't remember where. And he has it rented out to all sorts of shows, including his own shows and movies. He take a look. You've seen him. You've seen him, and
Okay,
your audience knows who he is for sure.
okay. Richest woman in the world, Francois Betancourt Myers. She
Did you know
owns
who she was?
she owns
Sorry.
L'Oreal.
I'd never heard of her before, but I certainly know L'Oreal.
Yeah. See, I thought L'Oreal would have been owned by Procter and Gamble or somebody like that.
Well, we'll see what happens. There's still time.
There's still time. Richest male in the world, Bernard Arnault. Don't know who that is. Or Elon Musk.
Everybody knows who he is.
And I would argue that there's one name left off there that people wouldn't think of, but I would imagine would be right up there.
Is
Vladimir Putin.
really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. He's got more money. You got to remember that everything they build, he takes a piece of. When they
Mm,
built the Olympics, the Winter Olympics in Sochi, he was taking a cut of everything that was being spent on it.
mm.
Yes, and nobody knows how much money he's got. By the way, he's running for president again of Russia.
And because it's a democratic society,
Oh
it
yeah,
should
for
be
sure.
a fair system to.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He decides beforehand how many votes
Yeah.
he's going to get, and he's
Yeah.
running. This time it's a 6-year term.
Oh, wow. What is the longest term in the world for anybody in office? Do you know?
Queen Elizabeth.
Good
Well, that's not elected though.
job. Yeah.
But then again,
Well,
is
maybe,
Putin really elected? I don't know.
and maybe there'll come a time in the royal family where they can say, you know what, I've had enough. Next. Somebody
I don't
shouldn't
know.
be forced to be in those roles all their life if they're not happy. It's all about happiness. So, who's the richest male in Canada? You know this person.
David Thompson. Well, it's the Thompson family. They, as in Roy Thompson Hall.
Oh, I've
They.
played Roy Thompson Hall, but I didn't know they were related.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Yes,
know
sir.
this guy, but you've
Yeah.
met this guy.
I met not David. I met his father, who died a number of years
Mm.
ago. Um, they are extremely. They're like the top 50 in the world. I think the Thompson
Wow.
family.
Hmm.
Yeah, big money.
Would you say
Big.
Americans would know who they are?
The wealthy ones would.
Yeah, probably. All right. What about of this year? Who's the highest paid actress in the world?
The highest paid actress. I don't know. Who is it?
Scarlett Johansson.
Is that right?
She's very popular and she does good movies. She really picks good things to do. Good projects. I'd see a movie of hers just on her name alone because I know she's discriminating. But yeah, she earned approximately, according to research, $56 million this year.
Wow. Yikes.
And then there's Jennifer Aniston. I really like her. I
So do
really
I.
do.
What did Jennifer Aniston do in the theaters? Have you
Well,
seen the morning show on?
I love it.
Yeah,
I
great,
have.
isn't it?
I love it. I think it's one of the finest produced television shows out there. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I
It,
agree.
it just blew me away. I finished it, I think in one day. I don't know. I was just like I couldn't stop pressing next. It was just amazing.
Well, it's 3 seasons now, right?
Yeah. So glad they came up with a third one. So, and then of course there's the whiz kid, and I shouldn't call her a kid because she's not anymore. Is Reese Witherspoon, because she also is so smart to start her own production company. It started to do so well. She had hit movies with it, and then she sold it, and she made millions. So
35
she's in
million.
that. Yeah, to be exact. Yeah.
Wow.
And she's on the morning show too.
Yeah,
And she's very good too.
she
Really
is very
good.
good.
Yep.
Top selling products on Amazon in 2023. AirPods by Apple.
I'm all for that, and I'm going to get myself a pair.
Now, what makes them so great? Is it the
The
quality?
th-
Is it
the thing, and it's different, AirPods and AirPods Pro. So that's why this one is the Pro, is the top. It's because a lot of people are losing the little buds, the little white buds, and then the carrying case and the charging case. But with the Pro, not only do they come with a good selection of the rubber tips, because I can't handle that hard plastic in my ears and it does lead to problems, but they have a buzzer, an alarm, a beep. So if you misplace them, you can press something on your phone or your computer and you can locate it. That's
really?
why the pros, yeah,
And how
that's
much do
why
they
they're the
cost?
ones to go for. I think that at least the first one of the AirPods Pro, I think third generation, I may be mistaken, is $300 or something around there.
Wow.
And you're wireless, and there's different settings. I tried it out this morning with my girlfriends, and she had one. I said, I don't want to be um, blocked out that I can't hear somebody coming behind me. She goes, oh, there's a setting for that. You just press this and you can hear someone coming behind you, because that's a safety issue.
Yeah.
So they just come with everything, Ted. It's just amazing. Also, people are using them to drive in the car, so they can also be hands free. Not only do modern cars, you plug it in with your USB, and you can speak through your radio speakers to people, so you never have to hold a phone, but you can use your AirPods as well in your car to talk on the phone.
Cool.
Ted Wallachin returns in a moment.
I've had the great fortune to say that I've been associated with one of Toronto's finest names in men's clothing for more than 25 years. Tom's Place. Founded by Tom Mahalick's father in 1958, Tom's Place offers brand name men's apparel at unbeatable prices. But more than that, they boast a long serving, knowledgeable, and friendly staff that can assist you whether you're looking for casual or formal attire. And they have plenty of first class tailors on site. In addition, Tom and his family are well known for their philanthropic work. So if you're looking to deal with great people who can fulfill your clothing desires at outstanding prices, do yourself a favor and visit Tom's Place. They're open weekdays from 11 to 6, Saturdays 10 to 5, and Sundays noon to 5. You'll find Tom's Place at 190 Baldwin in the heart of Kensington Market, or check them out online at toms-place.com. Tom's Place will suit you. Have you been tasked with the role of a state executor, or expected maybe in the future you will be? Well, if so, let me make your life a lot simpler by introducing you to my friend Debbie Stanley. Debbie is the founder of ETP Canada. They specialize in estate administration. Their goal simply is to help Canadian executors understand their role and how to deal with the loved one's estate. Let's face it, there's no school for this, but ETP Canada offers services such as executor support, estate accounting, and they have a new online course called Executor Ready. It's an engaging video designed to make estate administration easier and affordable. And those are two comforting thoughts during a stressful time. So call Debbie Stanley at 1-866-309-0387. That's 1-866-309-0387. Or you can get her at info@etpcanada.ca. That's info@etpcanada.ca.
Now back to Ted Wallachin.
Now, what is this thing called Diamond Dazzle Cleaner Pen? I've never heard of that.
I never heard of it either, but I'm obliged to tell you it's on the list of the top selling products on Amazon.
What is it?
I don't know.
A cleaner pen.
I'm going to think that it removes spots, and I did look it up, but so much has happened this week and I can't remember anything.
And then Ugg slippers. That's like the Ugg boots, but they're slippers.
Yes, but everybody's wearing slippers out now these days because they think it's cool, and I just think it's just so wrong. It's just so wrong to see these Ugg slippers or anybody's slippers outside on the street as a fashion statement. No.
Well, you normally wear them with pajamas. You see people walk around with pajama bottoms.
But I'm telling you, You got to get out more. There's
Uh,
people wearing slippers outside as a fashion
yeah.
statement.
And then
It's a
there are
no-go.
Crocs.
Yep. A
It-
lot
it-
of medical people are still wearing Crocs, you know.
yeah, why is that? Is it a comfort
I've
thing?
asked them. I've asked them because I go to the hospital all the time. Uh, they say they're comfortable, and you can rinse them really easily and sterilize them, you know.
Oh. And another top-selling product is the robot vacuum, which has been around for a long time.
It has, and it's more popular than ever, and I know several people who swear by it. You know, you can turn it on. You do have to program it to make sure it doesn't, hit into things, and but it's easy to program, the layout of the room. But you can set it before you come home. You can set it while you're upstairs doing the, bed or something, and you can have it be vacuuming the ground floor. It really does a great job. It really
Yeah.
does a good job, like, really. Like, they have ones that have water in it, they have ones that are self-cleaning, Ted. It goes back into its, home base, and it cleans itself. It's just amazing. They're
Wow.
not cheap, though, I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
but they do a good job.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We had one once years ago. It used to scare the dog.
They do, they scare the dogs.
Well, poor animals are thinking, "What the hell's what's this? What are they doing to me here?"
Well, you're a cat lover. Do they scare the cats
I don't.
too?
I don't have one. But used to have them years ago when we had a dog, but I don't have it, the vacuum nor the dog anymore.
Oh, okay.
Um, Something that I want to talk to you about that I know that really irks you because you've actually written a song about it, and we're gonna listen to that in a second. Is the presence of the condo, and here in Toronto, my God, they're everywhere. And it's not that I have anything against condos per se, but what really irks me is when they start tearing apart these beautiful brick buildings that are 4, 5, 6 story that have some character to them and some design and some history to them, and then they start putting up these condos that all look alike, and it's like it's like they're just trying to outdo the next one in terms of height. It's like a guy trying to, well, I'm bigger than yours. You know what I mean? It's like a penis envy thing with construction companies. I don't know what the hell it is, but they're all over the
Yes,
place.
an interesting parallel. Thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
But uh, they they're affecting family businesses. They're taking down stripped strip mall stores, those strips of stores that are one levels or they have apartments up above. They're all over Eglinton, and they are all over St. Clair too.
Yeah.
But now they are starting to take some of them down, even on Eglinton, near Bathurst, near Spadina, to build condos, and not just one, but two or three beside each other. And when someone said to my friend the other day, "Well, what's your view?" "What's my view? My view is three other condos, of course, because that's what they do. They did that at Yonge and Eglinton, and they still haven't stopped building. It's getting out of hand. And what you're getting for your money is something smaller than my one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
There's no closet space.
With
There's
with
no
a with
this.
a
There's no
with
that.
with a monthly fee, maintenance fee that just keeps going up and up. And I know people who bought them and they're really happy because they pay off the condo, and all of a sudden they're looking at this maintenance fee, which is now more than what they were originally paying the mortgage for the condo was.
And it will always go up. That's right.
You, you get rid of your mortgage, and then suddenly what was a mortgage is now been replaced by a maintenance fee, which is as much, if not, than the original mortgage. Uh,
Okay, but in all fairness, you do make payments on your cost of living to run your house every month.
you do.
So the question is running a house and the electricity and the plumbing and this goes wrong and that goes wrong. Does it all add up to less or more in a house than a condo? And that's what you have to think of, is how much does it
It
cost to run
depends.
your house?
It
Yeah,
depends.
it does depend.
It depends. If you're
But
concerned
you
about
never
doing, there's all kinds of companies, people who are offering lawn work and
That's right.
Shovel your snow work.
That's right. That's right. And there's those costs too, and you
Yeah,
won't
but at
have
least
those
you're hiring
costs in a
somebody and putting.
condo.
Yeah, but at least you're hiring somebody and putting money in their pocket, right?
Well, you could look at it that way, or you could
Yeah.
look at it as, thank God I don't have to shovel anymore. I live in a condo.
Well, somebody will shovel for you.
That's, well, okay. But it doesn't cost anything if you're in a condo.
Sure, it does. That's where your monthly maintenance fee's going.
Well, that's what they tell you. So
Well,
it's covering everything.
let's play the song.
Okay.
Do you have a place to live that you can afford? Try a condo, condo, condo. And the view are other condos, 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 and the monthly fee is high. Hey! And they raise it every year. Condos, condos, and there's very few closets. And their budget's in the red. Deficit, deficit, deficit. Gonna get me one today. Condo, 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 yeah!
All right, there's Marla Lukofsky and the condo song. I may have left the condo out, I'm not sure. If that drives you crazy, I'm sure that the bikes on the streets of Toronto drive you crazy as well. Because I think healthy, yeah, it's great for the environment. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good family outing. Yeah, absolutely. But think about where they're putting some of these bike lanes, and you want to talk about screwing up parking and what that does to small businesses as well. Where there's a strip along a net where you can't park. So, and now what are you going to do if you want to park to shop in these mom and pop stores? You got to park on a side street, and many of those side streets don't allow parking, or if they do, they allow them on one side of the street that's already filled up.
That's right.
It's
They
terrible.
paved. Yep.
They
paved parking lots and they put up a bike lane. Yep.
That's right.
I mean, it's crazy. It's not only crazy, it's dangerous. When they allot one or two spaces, they get, generous, and they take away all the side parkings on the side of the main streets, and they put in one or two spots. But to the right of you are bike lanes.
Yeah.
And as a passenger, you have to get out of that car. If you open your door and get out of that car, you run the risk of being hit by a speeding cyclist. And they are speeding, and people have been hit. And I saw an article that was really hard to uncover last year when I was writing about bikes violating traffic laws and nobody doing anything about it, and people being hit. I've been hit. I've been injured. Nobody does anything about it. Well, they don't have licenses. They don't have ID. You can't track them down. There's no penalties. So there was like 500 people got either killed or injured in New York City by electric bikes and bikes being hit. And there's something wrong with that. Yeah. So the businesses are being hurt, especially like locally, we'll speak Bloor Street West near High Park. All those little businesses, people can't park anymore. So you're not going to get the walk-in traffic, the walk-in traffic is the people who live there. But the people who drive in like me, there was nowhere to park. I had to park far away. It's winter now. 6 months of the year, it's winter in some of these, provinces.
Yep.
And it's just not ideal. I get it. But you know what, Ted? I used to be a cyclist until I got hit by 2 or 3 cyclists. I got injured not only by that. Not only was I a walker on the sidewalk, and they like to use the sidewalk and they hit me, but they hit me on the bike lane. So I never used the bike lanes. And what I discovered is there's a whole network of side streets that offer popular bike routes. And that's where they should have designated more bike routes, was on side streets that are not full of traffic, that are not full of pedestrians, and people are more leisurely riding their bike instead of racing. And I have multitudes of pictures that I've posted and videos of cyclists going through red lights and stop signs because they can.
I mean, I saw a guy driving for one of the food delivery companies, and he's zipping right in the middle of the left lane and the right lane, in between the cars. And I'm thinking, you're a fool, because some guy suddenly has to switch lanes, and you're going at such a quick speed that he doesn't even see you coming up behind him. you got to get squashed. It's
Yep.
terrible.
It is terrible.
And they don't stop. And listen, don't get me wrong, because I know there's going to be people will be pissed off at me saying, what
Oh,
are you
they will.
knocking cyclists for? But you
Yep,
know
yep.
what? Most of them know what they're doing, but there's way too many of them that don't pay any attention to the rules of the road. They go zipping
That's
through
right.
red lights. They don't stop at stop signs. They swerve in and out of traffic. They really couldn't care about the rules. They just do. The rules exist in their mind and in their mind only. And it's terrible.
It is. It is. Now, I'm all for if cyclists got licenses, paid for them annually, like we do as drivers. If they had license plates on their bikes, it's a little thing. Why you have name tags? Why not have that? And that they're accountable. So if they hit anybody, they have to pay their fines and they have to pay their fees, and they do go faster than they're supposed to. And they do, if we go through red lights, if we don't signal, we get fined. Cyclists should too. They want to be treated as a legitimate vehicle, then so be it across the board. That's all I have to say.
There you go. This has been fun. I thank you very much for joining me. And I wish you the happiest of holidays and a very successful and happy 2024. And again, for those of you who are now in 2025 listening to this, I hope you did have a good 2024 and are enjoying 2025. Is this confusing? Because it is to me. Marla Lukofsky, take care, honey.
You too. Happy New Year, Ted.
And that'll do it for us in another edition. And that'll do it for the year 2023. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget, drop by our website, sign up. We can let you in on all kinds of stuff that's going to be happening in the new year. And as well, look forward to your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions for guests, for topics, any of that. It's www.tedwoloshyn, WOLOSHYN.ca. And of course, while you're online, fill out your organ and tissue donation card. You could change or even save a life. Have a great week and a Happy New Year.
The Ted Woloshyn Podcast has been brought to you by ETP Canada, providing estate administration with ease. And Tom's Place, for the finest in men's clothing at unbeatable prices. It's Tom's Place at 190 Baldwin in the heart of Kensington Market. Tom's Place will suit you. The Ted Woloshyn Podcast is produced by Becky Coles, that's me. Technical production by Paul Gatt. Music by Bike Thieves. To talk to Ted and for more information on his podcast and our sponsors, go to www.tedwoloshyn.ca.